Hey YouTube, someone submitted Fossil Cup team with a write-up that was sort of like brilliant if you actually care about team building and matchups and stuff, and the importance of understanding the different scenarios in the matchups. So they wrote up and said they're only in they said they're in the 2500 ELO range now. These are done in like the 2100s, but they said up about 500 ELO in the last 7 days. So the team you're going to see is Shadow Poliwrath, Shadow Quagsire, and Fairthorn. And they said Shadow Quagsire critical to draw out and 2 shield win opponent Fairthorn if 2 mud shots up on switch. Win vast majority of Poly Mirror 8 and bait on Shadow. No first bait on normal. Still working on Galacipod. Quag save swap except on Jellicent. Jellicent swap needs to happen quick or stay an Icy Wind to survive Shadow Balls. So the main point there is draw out and win on the 2 shields. So in PV Poke, when you look at the rankings, so let me just pull up the just basic rankings here. If you look at a Great League rankings, these rankings are done for matchups based on the 1 shield scenario. So when you run Registeel against the Great League meta, this is what you get, 23-18 record against the Great League meta in the 1 shield scenario. So if you were to just pull out for example, Poliwrath, you will see, you got, they throw Icy Wind bait, you throw Zap Cannon, they throw Scald, you throw Focus Blast because that's all you're going to get to, and then they counter you down to win there in the 1 shield. So it's good to give you an idea of like the baseline matchups in the 1 shield, but not all matchups are done in the 1 shield. Like you often have multiples in the 0s or the 2s or the different shields like 0 versus 1, 0 versus 2. So it's important to know all those different matchups. So we get to Shadow Quagsire and Fairthorn, and you'll see this in my Legend run the other day because I made this mistake too. I have a Fairthorn, in was a Shadow Quagsire, and then I lost switch in the 2 shields. So if you look at it, Fairthorn, so let's just give an example. In the 1 shield, very comfortable matchup for Fairthorn, getting that power up off, taking it out with comfortable health. In the even shield, even energy, 2 shields, it is the same thing. You do land that second power whip before they are able to get to you, so you win there. But watch what happens when you start adding some mud shots. So they said 2. I think the PV Poke simulation just says 1 mud shot. So you add 1 mud shot advantage to Shadow Quagsire in the 2 shields, and you get that mud bomb off to take it out and win. So now in the 2 shields, Shadow Quagsire is beating Fairthorn just with 1 mud shot advantage, right? So it's even more comfortable with 2s and 3s than if they slow on the swap when you instant swap Quagsire in there, and then you draw out that Fairthorn, and then you beat it in the 2 shields because they probably do not know the different shield scenarios. And I didn't. Same thing. Go watch my Legend team video. I get baited out with a Quagsire, Shadow Quagsire. I have Fairthorn. I come in to punishment. Oh, I can farm down. Oh, I can do this. And they take me in the 2 shield. And it's just knowing the different matchups is so important. So this is why I always kind of laugh when people are like, oh, GBL is just tap, tap, tap. It's like there's so many different details about this game you need to know about. So it's one thing to just to know about like typings and matchups, like grass will in general destroy water ground because water ground is double weak to grass. So yes, on paper, Fairthorn was going to beat Quagsire, and in the 0s, and in the 1, and in the even shield, even energy 2, it does, but not with a 1 mud shot advantage there. So what I would suggest is like, if you're ever in a sort of limited meta like this again, like go to PV Poke and play through those different shield scenarios and different energy scenarios, just because it like stuff like this, Shadow Quagsire flipping that matchup, you would not think about at all until you just like either someone showcases it or you go against it, and I had it happen to me, or the right up here. So there's only 5 battles here, but I think it was important just to showcase like the importance of understanding matchups and everything there. So Poliwrath lead, likely stay in there, just going straight for the Icy Wind. Lowering the attack is important because even if, well, Dynamic Punch actually may, well, probably not after a lowered attack. You probably could live a dynamic punch, but just going to shield just in case. Having landed so it is dynamic punch. Having landed that move first definitely gives an advantage there. Going to throw the Icy Wind to not take a second move there. Oops, Icy Wind is not Legacy. That's Legacy on another Pokemon. Sorry. Going to shield up the second dynamic punch. Grabbed one shield, so take it in the 2v1s, right? Again, 2v1s just going Icy Wind versus stuff like that. Like, that's the stuff you need to know. Getting the Icy Wind off to lower this attack, and then we'll probably come Ferrothorn. Lowering the attack is nice. Probably puts it in. Oof. So this is this is the problem. Too slow on the switch. Right? This is knowing the different energy scenarios. So 1, 2. They're already like halfway through 2 when you're at 2, which is just like you're going to be too slow. I know they were trying to chip here, but you're too slow on the come in here, which means they're already at the power up, which means this is going to one shot, and then you're basically even health more or less, but down a shield. So it's just an easy win for them. So Magnezone lead. Again, this is kind of even-ish because counters are going to add up real quick. So they actually get out. Glycopod, like they said, they don't have a great answer to Glycopod. So going to stay in, going to shield a potential Aerial Ace. I would not be surprised if they Icy Wind and then get into maybe Ferrothorn. So just, again, if you want to keep Switch, which they're going to keep Switch by getting it on Quagsire here. But if you want to do that, that's kind of how you play the beginning matchups out. You just stay in, you lower their attack, or like chip. If you don't have a Pokemon that lowers the attack, you chip, and then you just more easily take it in the mid game there. And that's what happened. So getting the power up off, you can't really wait for Wild Charge because Wild Charge probably one shots from a Shadow. Oh, it's not a Shadow Magnezone. Still probably one shots at this range. So they'll probably throw the Wild Charge, take you out, and just go 2 shield whatever's in the back. So there's the Wild Charge. Out should instantly go Quagsire. They are ABA, weak to ground, so this makes it much, much easier. Spark is resisted. Surf will do on a Shadow. I was about to say maybe close to 50, just under. So maybe you can live a second one here. Get off the 1, and now you'll just outpace. Now the question is, where do you burn the shield? They burned the 2 shield. Can you get to another one? Okay, now that you've got this third, I think it's more likely that you just go Poliwrath after this. Yeah, force their energy. Make a catch of a Surf. 1 and catch. Make a catch of that Surf. So now you can counter down. They're going to come in. Get a move off, which you have to... yeah, I think you have to shield it. It is a Wild Charge. Now you can just counter down. There's an option that you can like let it go and then Mud Shot down and come out with a Mud Bomb or closer to. So, Whiscash. Obviously, they're only going to have Mud Bombs for you here. Gonna let that go. Probably get up to Dynamic Punch and then going straight Dynamic Punch. Grab that shield, or take him out, or 1 HP. Yeah, take him out. So take him out in the zeros. That's huge. They are debating hard. Out comes a Mantine, so we're going to instant swap Quagsire. They are not getting out because why would they? Like, Mud Shot's resisted. You have to land the Stone Edge, and they'll still have 1 Stone Edge, and the Aerial Aces are going to add up real quick. So going for the bait here. You may get it because, again, if they're coming Quagsire, they may think you don't have an answer for Mantine in the back. So grabbing that shield. Yeah, you're going to have to shield back now. Just going straight for the move again. It's based on the thought process that if they're probably not going to double shield Mantine, but if they do, so be it. Now you can just go Thunder on Ferrothorn. Interesting. I thought you just let that go and go Thunder on Ferrothorn, and they make the catch. Yeah, you hit it already. 1 and catch. That's the way to do it. But now just get the Poliwrath on this. Going straight Dynamic Punch. Going to take this out. Don't want to obviously take a move. This will take him out. Can they? I don't think they can wing attack you down before. Oops, I forgot to add Poliwrath's secondary typing. Jeez Louise. Getting that Icy Wind off till they tried to get the wing attack down, but that's not going to work. And now lowering their attack should be able to easily take out the power before they take you out. Okay, bad lead. And we are going straight Quagsire. And again, not surprising that they're staying in here because it's a very comfortable matchup for them just to stay in with this and just go straight Air Lace, even though they had a good matchup there. Smart knowing that they were going to try and catch. So now I got a couple Mud Bombs. You will grab shields most like. They may try to counter down, so you may grab a shield. It's going to be close. Nope, they decide to throw it so they don't have to take any additional damage. It's just a power punch, but that will take you out there. So now your switch timers are very desynced. Just waiting to see. I'm assuming the Mantine will come back in. I'm actually surprised you're staying in here. Like, I would have probably like instant swapped into Ferrothorn while they were still switch locked, as opposed to like taking super effective wing attacks. I know you're doing a neutral Icy Wind, but super effective wing attacks and at best chipping, and they can still reset here. And they blindly reset onto Lantern. You can't blind reset here because one, power up's going to put it low, and now it's just Bullet Seed range, and you're going to come out with 2 moves. So you just let every move go, Bullet Seed down, come out with 2 moves. And then this just makes up this back matchup way easier. Yeah, you take the Surf, that's fine. Because the power-ups are more important here. Oh, it's a Thunderbolt, that's fine, whatever. Have 2 power-ups, just going to go straight back to back here. Maybe you want to 1 Bullet Seed and throw, just for fast move timing. Yeah, that's fine, we'll shield. Going 2 there. Maybe trying to get them to throw. Maybe think they get the farm down. Now they do throw as the poly comes in. It's going to be close. Because they're going to try and farm down. Can you get to an Icy Wind? Yes. They try to maybe undercharge there. I feel like Air Lace should have done way more against a Shadow Poly. I think they try to undercharge there, but I think a little too undercharged there. Poliwrath is a great lead. Obviously, sorry, Sandslash is a great lead. There's your Golisopod again. So I guess we're not even going to get to see. There's only 5 battles in this set. So I don't think we're actually going to get to see the Ferrothorn draw out. But again, just go watch my Legend team from Tuesday, which is yesterday. Yeah, go watch my Legend team yesterday morning. And you will see me get baited out my Ferrothorn on their Quagsire, and their Quagsire taking me down. I do end up winning the matchup because I just get extra farm on my Togekimaru, but yeah, it definitely does happen. And I think the lesson in itself of knowing the different shielding scenarios is important, especially with different like energy. It'll really separates the best of the best and everything. And speaking about separating best of the best, that is an overfarm unnecessarily. So now you got to go down with so much energy instead of taking switch. Coming, just getting the farm down on Quagsire. So 5 mud shots through there. So that's nice. Some extra energy there. They're coming to Sandslash because they basically just need to sacrifice this because you have a Poliwrath and a Quagsire. So they're just going to sacrifice this. Going to snipe with that before they get a move off. And now they are stuck with 1 Pokemon against a Pokemon that has an attack lowering move, which is never the scenario you want to be in. Lowering their attack once already. Can you get to another move? If not, you could just Mud Bomb the crap out of this thing. So you can't get to another move. But the damage is sort of done. The attack is lowered. You are Shadow though, so there's still an argument that Shadow Ball may take you out here. And now, can a Stone Edge take out from this range on a Shadow? Call the bait, and then realizing with a shield advantage, you can just go. Also, kind of in your mind going, does Stone Edge one shot from here? It should one shot from there after those mud shots, but calling the bait already and having that shield advantage just makes you easy go double Mud Bomb just to ensure that's the case there. So yeah, that's the team. Again, it makes sense. Like, Mantine is the toughest for this team, quite honestly, because you need to land a Stone Edge on Quagsire and behind on energy. It's a big game and it's tough from that perspective. But again, they're some of the top Poliwrath and Ferrothorn, some of the top meta in this league. And Quagsire, if my Monday 700 plus Elo Togedemaru team and my Legend Togedemaru team pick up, then having Poliwrath lead in a Quagsire mid game, it won't be too bad. So, but yeah, just if anything in this video, the importance of understanding the different shield scenarios. And again, there's a lot adding up here of what you need to know to be a successful battler. And that's why, like, this is not tap, tap, tap. This is a very tricky game where there is a lot of stuff to learn, right? You got just the basic fundamentals of just any Pokemon game typings. What does super effective against what resists what? That's just the basic understandings there. But then the complexities that Pokemon Go adds is like different shield scenarios, different energy scenarios, fast move optimization, team comps, stuff like that. So it's just like there's layers on layers on layers, and knowing the different shield scenarios and the different energy scenarios of what can flip matchups with like a mudshot advantage and stuff like that. Shadow versus non-shadow, right? Doing a little more damage. I just mentioned in my top teams video coming up on Friday, actually, it'll be coming up on Friday, about Vigoroth for Shadow Gligar, where Shadow Gligar can only, at least my IVs, can only take 2 body slams and gets taken out, as opposed to the non-shadow, which take 3. So the non-shadow has a way better matchup against Vigoroth than the shadow does. So it's just those different scenarios that you kind of need to know. Some of them you just get through experience, and some of them you may, like most of mine are through experience. And then otherwise you could just use like these resources like PvPoke and stuff to figure it out. Just play with the different scenarios and figure out these different matchups. So that is it. I'm going to do my best to do the catching video maybe this morning. So if that's on, great. If not, it's just going to be another Fossil Cup team. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.